Watch this video to learn how to play Copycat from the Piano Adventures Primer Level Lesson Book. Today we're in the Piano Adventure Primer Level Lesson Book, and we are looking at Copycat. Copycat is on pages 60 and 61 of this book. Copycat is a really fun game where our right hand plays something and then our left hand repeats it. So in every single line, your right hand is going to play a pattern, and then your left hand will play that same note pattern an octave lower. So if we learn each of these patterns in our right hand, they're a little bit easier to learn in our left hand. Let's look at some of the main points for this piece before we dive into it. First of all, I noticed the time signature here says that it is 4/4 time. Do you remember how many beats will be in each measure with 4/4 time? That's right, 4 beats in every measure. Looking at the hand position for this piece, I noticed that my right hand pinky begins on this note, which is, did you say G? Go ahead and write a G on that line. And my left hand thumb begins on this note, which, since we know is a copy of what happened over here, is also G. That means if we look at the piano, our hands will be situated so that they are in C scale position. One more thing that I want to look at before we begin learning the lines of this piece is that the dynamics are shifting. So if you'll notice, it says forte here, and it says piano on the next line, and that pattern repeats on the next page. We have a forte and then a piano. Finally, look at this line. Do you see another line in this piece that looks like this line? It's not this one, because this one starts on a different note. On this page, do you see one that looks the same as the first line? It's this one. The third line is a copy of the first line. The second and the fourth lines are very close to each other, but not quite the same. Okay, let's start by looking at the first line of music. If you look here at this first measure, do these look like steps or skips to you? Did you say steps? They're moving from line to space, space to line, so those are definitely steps. How about the second measure? Does that look like skips or steps to you? These look like skips. Do you see that they have more space between them? And also we're moving from line to line to line. And that's what skips do. They move from a line to a line or a space to a space. So we start out by going down with steps, and then we come up with skips. On the piano, with your fifth finger on G, we're going to start there and step all the way down to C and then skip up. Do that one more time with me. 1, 2, here we go. G, step down and skip up. Good. Left hand does the same thing. So let's start on G, step down and skip up. One more time. 1, 2, here we go. G, step down, skip up. Let's play the whole line now. 1, 2, start with right and go. G, stepping down, skipping up. Left hand, stepping down, skipping up. Great. Now you know the first and the third lines of this piece. Let's look at the second line. The second line begins on this note. Tells us that's 2, and I also know that that's a D. Do these look like steps or skips to you? Those are steps, and I know because they're moving space to line, line to space. And how about this measure? Do those look like steps or skips to you? Also steps. So we're going to start on D and step up to G and then step back down to D. Let's try that on the piano. Go ahead and make sure your hands are ready, starting with the right hand 2 on D. 1, 2, here we go. Step up. do that one more time, right hand. 1, 2, ready, go. Good. Now the left hand does the same, but it's going to be the fourth finger that starts on the left hand because that's the finger on D. 1, 2, ready, go. Step up and step down. Stop. Let's do the left hand one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Step up. Step down. Stop. Good. Now, again, you already know the third line, so let's look at the fourth line. The fourth line is almost the same as the second line, but there's one important difference. So this is also a D right here, and we're stepping up. But look between this note and this note. Do you see how that's a line to a line right there? That is a skip. So after we get to G, we're going to skip to E, and that means that when we step down, we'll make it all the way down to C, which makes it sound like an ending. On the piano, go ahead and get your hands ready. We're starting with right hand 2 on D. Let's play these first two measures together. 1, 2, line 4, and go. D, step up. Now skip, step down. Isn't that a nice ending? Go ahead and try it with me one more time. 1, 2, here we go. D, step up, skip, step down. Now our left hand has to do the same thing. So we're going to start on D right here. 1, 2, here we go. Skip. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. D, skip, and end on C. Good. We're going to play the whole fourth line now. 1, 2, here we go. Right. Skip. Left. Skip. Great. If you would like to practice any of those lines more, please go ahead and pause the video to do that. I'm going to play through the whole song now, and I will give you cues so that you remember what you're supposed to do as we go. Let's go ahead and get our hands ready. I'd like you to play with me. 1, 2, start on G and go. Step down. Skip up. Left hand, step down. Skip up. Start on D, step up. Step down. Left hand, D, step up, step down. G, step down, skip up. Left hand. Don't forget to skip up. Okay, now D, skip. D, skip. Great. We're going to play it together one more time. This time we're going to focus on the dynamics. So the first line will be forte, the second line will be piano, the third line will be forte, the fourth line will be piano. I'm still going to remind you the second and the fourth line that one of them is a step and one of them is a skip, because that is the biggest pitfall that I find with students. Okay, make sure your hands are ready. We're focusing on the dynamics, starting with forte. 1, 2, here we go, nice and loud. Stay loud. Now quiet. This is the one with the step. Stay quiet. Okay, get ready for loud. Stay loud. Skip. Stay quiet. Skip. And that is Copycat.
To practice Copycat, you will play it 3 times a day. Each time you're going to focus on a different thing. The first time, all the correct notes. The second time, the correct rhythms. And the final time, the correct dynamics. You have reached the end of this video and you can now play Copycat. I hope that this video was helpful and thank you for watching.